Okay, I've got a lot of stuff. It's been a long time, and I have a lot of projects that I want to talk about. So sit down, get something to drink, take your whip, and let's have a long chat about all the things I've been making these past 3 months. Hi, my name is Deborah. I love to knit, sew, crochet, thrift, and talk about all things related to fiber art. And today, we're having another knitting podcast. I think this is number 6. Oh my god, I'm really excited. I hope you are too. So I'll start with my finished knits, then go on to my finished sewing projects. Then I'll get into my whips, my knitting whips, because those are the only whips I have, only knit whips. And I'll end off with my future knitting projects. But it's gonna be a really, seriously, get something because I have a lot to say. So starting off with my knitting projects, literally the last project I just finished one day ago. Yeah, I finished it. No, I finished it on Friday and we're Sunday, so 2 days ago. It is my Unraveled.studios scrunchie bag. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's gorgina. I am obsessed with this bag. I'm obsessed with this bag. I don't know what I want to talk about it because I don't know what I want to say about it because I at this point will have had uploaded a project vlog. So definitely click here to watch it after you watch this video. It's whatever I said in that vlog. I'll just reiterate here a little bit. Obviously, I used Veritas Merino 85 yarn in these 2 different colors to work on this bag. I just followed the pattern. It was really easy to follow. This project was, I would also say it's beginner friendly. Would I say it's beginner friendly? I would say if this is your 3rd or 4th project as a beginner. I wouldn't say like you start knitting, learning to knit with this. I wouldn't say that, but like your 3rd or 4th project, definitely. Especially if you started with the Sophie scarf, then you already know how to do I-cord edging. So then it's like easier to dive into this one. But yeah, it's also a very forgiving pattern because she literally says in the pattern that if you make mistakes, like it's fine. It doesn't need to be a perfect bag and perfect construction. I really like the fact that you can make it like a little shoulder bag and also turn it into, that's literally my favorite feature about it. You can turn it into a crossbody bag. Ah, that's so smart. And I really like the way she designed it. The way the increases are designed in the way that makes sure that this fits like this on your shoulder, which makes it really, really nice. And I also really like the size. Like the only thing I have to say about this pattern is that I carry a lot of stuff. I have 2 phones. I have a lot of medication that I have to carry with me everywhere I go, which my bag, if it's not sturdy, this gets pretty droopy because it's so heavy. So I think I'm gonna try and add lining to this bag. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I really don't. So still have to figure that out. But I'm still giving this pattern a 10 out of 10. Like, I love it. It's so cute and the colors are amazing. But if you want to hear me talk and you want to see me work on this project, definitely watch the video. I've had a lot of fun making project vlogs actually. So, if you want to see the behind the scenes of me working on this, definitely watch that video. Next project is talking about the Sophie scarf. The Sophie scarf. I finally finished it. This project has been my on the road, passenger princess, in the train. This just has been my on the road project and I finished it in my Wheel of Whips. So I don't know if you guys have been following me on Instagram, but I haven't left like the face of the earth. I just left YouTube for a little bit because I was getting in my head, but I talk about it in the few YouTube videos I've posted since like a kind of a 3-month hiatus I've been in. And so I was just dealing a little bit with that and dealing with the move and dealing with all of those, adulting and just life things that were happening and accumulating a lot of whips. And it was getting a little bit frustrating because I wanted to cast on other things, but I didn't have any needles left. Like I have a bunch of interchangeable needles, but even those cables and those needles were like stuck on a bunch of different projects. So I just looked at all of the active whips I had because I also have some some whips that are deceased. They're not here with us anymore. I don't like they're just I don't look at them, but I just put all of my whips on a wheel, called it Wheel of Whips, and every day I would spin it, work on that project for 1 hour, and then I was allowed to work on a project that I'd recently cast on. I will talk about that project later. But this project was also on my Wheel of Whips, and when I landed on it, I just, instead of working on it for 1 hour, I finished it completely. Because I was in a groove and I really wanted this to be done. So I was like, you know what? I am gonna finish it now. Like, I don't wanna deal with having this project still on my needles, even though I really wasn't using those needles for anything else. So it technically was okay to keep them, but yeah, I have this and I love it. I love this so much. I've been using it a lot. The weather in Belgium, I think the last time I like filmed the video, we were dealing with a heat wave. It's like that never happened because now it's raining and it's cold in the evenings and I don't want to walk around with like a huge scarf, and I can just put this little thing in my bag and it's protecting my neck. Literally, the little voice in my head, which is my mom, every time I walk outside and it's a little cold and I have nothing to protect my neck, I'm like, oh, my mom, she's not gonna be. She probably said in her head, like, I told you where it's cold. Da, da, da. She's seeing this. Hi, mom. Hi, dad. I know you guys are watching, but now I always have a scarf with me thanks to the Sophie scarf. So yeah, I already talked about this in a lot of other knitting podcasts for the yarn details and everything. So just here to tell you, I finished it. I love it. I'm probably gonna make another one with other yarn scraps, but this one, great. Really easy, beginner friendly, and nice. The next project also has a project vlog. So if you're interested after watching this video, it is a knitted bralette top that I made inspired by Dochi in the Boom Bap music video. I also, if you want to hear me see the design process, because I didn't follow pattern for this, I made it myself. I drafted it myself. Kind of in, I don't think people usually, I mean, even I usually don't pattern draft like that. But it was fun to do it in a different way that made sense to me. And yeah, you're just gonna have to watch the video and see all the footage to understand what I mean. But here it is. It's so cool. I am definitely thinking about making a YouTube video about like just a straight up tutorial on how to make this because it's so fun. It's so cute. I also want to make it one more time for myself because I kind of wrote down the instructions for this top really badly. Actually, so I have to make it one more time for myself and then I can make one for a YouTube video, and people have been asking me for tutorials, so it's coming up, don't worry. And yeah, I just used Julia yarn for this great Julia yarn that was gifted to me, kindly gifted to me by Zayma. Crazy to say, but they did. And yeah, if you want more details about it, I made a project vlog and I will make a tutorial. So that's really, really exciting. It's very beginner friendly, like extremely beginner friendly. So I'm gonna do my best to explain it as well and as good as possible. I'm also currently following a course. Like I kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna reveal it on here, but I don't know why I wouldn't. So I'm following a course on Craftsy, not sponsored by the way, they're not sponsoring me to tell this, how to design patterns because I couldn't find really a good resource that explains it to you on how to draft patterns and how to, not the draft just, but how to grade specifically. That's what I wanted to know. And it's really insightful and clearly explained. I'm at the grading part of the course, so maybe I can even you know, give you multiple sizes on how to do this. I don't want to promise it. Don't hold me to that, because I don't know if I want to release this tutorial as like a just this is how I made it, and if you want to make it to make it like this, or if I should actually grade it. I think it's more fun if I actually grade it. But should I test it then before? Tell me in the comments if you want me to actually grade it, test it, and then release a YouTube video on how I made it, or if you just want to know technically how I did this and what my stitch count was and everything, and you want to figure it out yourself. Just tell me in the comments how you want me to do it. I'll try my best to do it. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you guys want it to be. You want it to be just a YouTube video, or you want it to be like graded, written, tested, and YouTube video pattern. I'll see what I can do for you. But process, project vlog. Next. Oh, guys, I'm so happy about this next knit. Look at this beauty. I will put pictures, obviously, of it as well. This is my coolest and most beautiful and gorgeous work. Oh my god, this cardigan. This cardigan! I'm like, I'm happy, but I'm also like, this cardigan here. My goodness. Everything is also coming back, and it's all coming back to me. Everything is coming back to me when I'm holding these pieces, because I'm just like, oh, I made this so long ago. What did I do? But it's coming back. So this is a free pattern on the Hobby website. It's the Happy cardigan, but I hacked it to make it look like the Spectacle Street cardigan. And by I hacked it, I mean just a pattern, like the colors. That's what I did. I did nothing else that's the same, basically. The only thing that's the same is the colors. And by the colors, I mean just the fact that the pattern of the colors is like a 2x2 color scheme thing. But that's it. Like nothing else is the same, because I don't know how that pattern works. Anyways, this. I had a few issues with the Hobby pattern. The first issue was the length of the yoke was crazy. In my size, oh my god, I had a bat wing. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. The amount of stitches I needed to add underneath my arm when I finished the yoke. I think if I remember correctly, I even added a lesser amount of stitches than they recommended, and it was still crazy. Like I was done with the body and I was like cruising through this cardigan, so I was like, whoa, like everything's going so fast, the body's going so fast. Like literally people sending me messages like, oh my god, you're making so much progress. I'm like, yeah, like I'm having so much fun. The changing of the colors is making it really easy and fast to work through. Like I love a project with stripes. Stripes make something really fun to continue, because my brain every time is like a little mini dopamine hit of like, new color, new color, new color. Really good. It's a really good way for me to finish a project if I have to use stripes to finish a project. Anyways, so I was breezing through, even already starting a little bit. No, that's not true. I was starting a little bit on the sleeve, having a time, testing it and putting it on. And even when I already put the yoke on and I joined in the round, not in a round, but I joined the body, I was like, this looks like a big sleeve. I feel like this is going to be kind of wide. And on the design, you can see that I feel like there's almost no decrease on the sleeve. Like the sleeve is pretty straight, and I don't want that. I do not want that. I wouldn't say I want a fitted sleeve, but I want the sleeve to be a little more neat. And it felt like I was gonna come from a really wide armhole to go decrease a whole lot to get a more fitted sleeve at the end, which was the case because I was finishing the arm. I think I finished one, and just folding my arm back down, I had so much fabric under my armpit. I was like, this is not okay. Like I was kind of convincing myself like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. No, it's not. It was frustrating me. I didn't like it. I was a little uncomfortable. Like my brain, when I'm wearing something and I don't feel good in it, it kind of gets overwhelmed. And I was getting that feeling. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. So I unraveled it, and I think I still added 2 stitches, I think, underneath my arm, and I redid the arm, and I was still not happy, so I unraveled it completely, and then I just didn't add any extra stitches on the bottom of my arm. I just immediately joined it together, the front and the back of my yoke, and that was a good size for me. It's still loose and there's still some fabric underneath, but it's not that bad. Then I started to decrease, and deciding a decrease rate was also difficult. I didn't write anything down, so it's basically based on vibes, and by adding a bunch of stitch markers, I could just recreate what I did on one sleeve on the other sleeve by every time I would move a stitch marker, and then I could see like this is a good decrease rate. But I think in total this sweater I unraveled it 3 times maybe, and then the sleeve 2 times, I think 5 times in total. But I've never made my name just, I mean, gave my name, made my name justice, gave my name justice, did my name justice as much as I've never did my name, done my name. Hey, I don't know how to speak English. Hey guys, turns out I do not know how to speak English. But anyways, this is Unraveled Studios, and I unraveled this so many times, but I'm so happy I did because now the fit is to my liking. I love the decreases I did. The way this arm fits is like right on, perfect to my liking. And I also really like the cuff. I think I used 4mm needles for the cuff, or even, no, 4mm. And it makes it look so neat. I don't think my cuffs have ever looked this neat. So that's great. They also, Julia Yarn suggests you use 6 to 7mm needles, I think. Never done that a day in my life. Or 7 to 8. I mean, I'm gonna look that up because I don't want to like spread lies. 7 to 8mm. Never done it a day in my life. The only time I did it, it was way too loose on my garments, and I didn't like it. So I think, if I remember correctly, I used 5 or 6 millimeters on the body. Could be 6. It's giving 6 to me. So 6 millimeters on the body and 4 millimeters on the cuff, and that's what gives this super neat, super nice finish. And I only did it on the cuffs. I didn't do it on the bottom ribbing. That's why the bottom ribbing is a little more, it's a little looser. And I think to the blind eye, like, you don't really see it. But look, this is so much neater than this to me. And I just really like it. I was then, when I finished the body, the cuffs, everything, I was like, what am I going to do for the button placket? Because I kind of want the stripes to continue into the whole piece, but then I didn't add that into the design when I was making it. I just did stocking it all the way, so it's not going to look like that. And I was like, okay, let's just try and see what it gives when you add on a button placket that was suggested in the pattern, but you just change the colors every 2 rows just the way you did the rest of your sweater, but instead of it going horizontally, it'll go vertically. We'll see what it's gonna give, and I think it still looks good. Like, you can see here, like, this is horizontal, this is vertical, but I'm not bothered by that at all, which, hallelujah. Hallelujah. But it looks great, and I'm really happy, and it's super cute. It's super cute. It's my first cardigan. Wow. So yeah, free pattern. But if you want it to look a certain way, it's a lot of modifications that you have to do. But I mean, it's fine. I think it's part of your knitting journey to modify it and make sure it fits the way you want it to fit. So I act like I'm annoyed, but I'm happy I figured it out. So those were all my finished knit projects. Now we will go on to my finished sewing projects, and I finished a lot of sewing projects because I was going through basically this summer I've been outside. That's the gist of it. I was outside, been outside, was outside yesterday. Like, I was having fun outside. I wanted looks to wear outside, so I made it. I made them all. I was going to a 10-day festival here in Ghent. It's called the Gentse Feesten, and I wanted to make looks for 10 days. Did I succeed to make full looks for the whole 10 days? No, I didn't. But that's okay. I still made a lot of super cool looks, starting with this top. This is, I think, one of my favorite tops I made. It's I don't know what the right top is. It's like a crossbody side tied top. And basically, to prepare for all of the things I wanted to make, I made inspiration board on my Pinterest. Follow my Pinterest if you want to see all of the things that inspire me. Basically, put it on my Pinterest because it's a great place to look for inspiration. So I made a Pinterest board. Then I took all of the designs I was actually gonna make, put it on another Pinterest board, and then look for tutorials. Or no, basically I just looked for tutorials if people already made these tops, because I didn't want to buy patterns. I wanted to make patterns myself, which was a thing that I've avoided for the longest, because if you didn't know, I studied fashion technology, which was interesting because it was a lot of work. It was so much work. And for a year when I was done with studying it, I was like, I don't want to touch my sewing machine. Like, I don't want to deal with it. And if I touch my sewing machine, it's going to be with patterns I freehand or a pattern I buy, because I don't want to take my measurements and then do all of the right steps, because it's going to take so much time and it's not even going to fit me well anyways, because that is what happened to me in school. The things would never really fit me because we would base it on straight sizes and straight models that were not like me, who didn't have my dimensions, and adapting it to my dimensions just made everything like going through one fitting isn't enough. I had to go through a second one, and that would give my garment the right fit. But because I had 11 billion other things to do, I never had time to really make something that fits me really, really well. So in my mind, that meant that just nothing fits me really well, and I just have a weird body and brr. But I couldn't find any already finished patterns that were my taste. So I was like, you know what? I will do it. I will do it the right way. I will take all my measurements, make a basic bodice block, and then from that basic bodice block, I will make a sample and see how the sample fits me, adapt the sample, and then use that as a base form for the projects I want to make. I did all the things. I took my time to make everything, and turns out I just needed time. Turns out I'm not bad at this. I just needed time to get better. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And that's literally in everything in life, basically. But I don't know. I was so convinced I was bad at it because I didn't have enough time to perfect my craft. Anyways, just wanted to share that with you to say that I didn't use that. I didn't use the, I mean, I kind of use it, but not really, the basic bodice block to make this, because I followed a tutorial by, now I have to look that up because I don't remember. It's a YouTube video by Witkedia. It's called Tutorial au Pinterest. It is in French. So if you don't speak French, I feel like you can still deduce what you're supposed to do from it. But just a warning, it is in French. But maybe put on closed captions, maybe that makes sense, I don't know. But I just followed her tutorial, and the only thing I adapted is adding some darts in the bust area, because otherwise it would just not fit my bust. Well, I just have a bigger bust, so I know I just had to put in the darts to make it make sense. I also went to the thrift store to thrift all of these beautiful fabrics. I went to the Kringloopwinkel because it's my favorite place to get fabric. It's cheap, it's cool, it's one of a kind, and it's good for the environment. What else would you want? Exactly. So that was great. This used to be a curtain, and now it's an amazing cool top. I do have footage of me working on this, just like a project vlog. If you guys are interested in me putting that up, I could. But I don't know. I think you guys are interested in me talking about knitting, so if anyone in the comments is like, no, I really want to see the project, maybe this video will appear. Maybe not. I don't know. Tell me what you want to see. Now, this curtain was really, really big, so I also made a skirt. And I also made a skirt by making a basic bodice skirt pattern, and it fits me like a glove. The only thing I need to do is add little hooks, a hook and eye, so that this stays up. But it fits so well, and it's so cute, and the darts fit me perfectly. Yeah, I love this skirt. I also added lining. When I add lining to something, I'm like, oh, I am a professional. I'm fancy. I added lining, but it looks so good and it fits like a glove. The lining is literally a sheet from the Zeeman. This is like this is a mix of like my favorite stores. It's a second-hand thrifted curtain turned into a skirt, and the lining is a sheet from Zeeman. Exactly. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this skirt because it's literally a basic skirt. I also thrifted the zipper. And because I did ran out of fabric a little bit, this is just kind of patchworked together. You can see here it's not like one continuous piece of fabric. But I don't know, from afar you can't really see it. So if you can see it, that means you're standing too close to me. Now the next two pieces, one is a little bit of a flop for me, but I think someone else could, enjoy this. And then the top, I think the color is just not for my skin tone. I don't know, I just don't like it together. But I made another classic Unraveled.studios ruffled top because I just wanted to make it in a different color. But I just think it doesn't really work for my skin, or even if it works for my skin, me personally, I just don't, it's just not my vibe. I feel like somebody else's vibe could like be great with this, but for me, it's just no. So I think I'm just gonna put it up on my Etsy. So guys, if you see this and you're like, hey, I want this, I'll put my Etsy below and you can just, hop on there and get it for yourself. Basically, it's just a basic shirred top made out of a heavier cotton fabric, but I just really like the way it felt. So I made a top out of it. That's it basically. I also kept the ruffle bottom a little bit longer, but yeah, it's really cute. And for the last days of summer, or if you live in a country where it's still sunny, you could totally wear this. Don't really have a lot to say about this either because it's just, I have a basic pattern already cut out from the drop I did earlier a few months ago. So I just could cut it out of there and then make this. That was really easy. Now the next, this was a little bit of a fail just because I have a big bottom and it didn't really cover my booty pretty well, so I was too afraid to wear it outside. I really was. So I don't know. I don't know, like there's also a part of it where the elastic is not pulled through completely, like it didn't pick up the elastic right here, so I have to figure out what I want to make with this. I don't know what I want to do with this. But yeah, that was annoying because the thing about shirring is it's really easy. It's just straight lines in your machine, but it takes a long time. So it's frustrating when you're working on something for a long time and then you're putting it on and you're like, oh no, it doesn't work. So I didn't get to wear it out because it was just too nipped. And now I have to figure out what I want to do with this because you know. Then the next top is also a little bit of a flop. Like, I don't know. I think it's because I was making it without using a pattern. And every time I do something, like some girlies on the internet can just be like, kind of cut it like this and kind of cut it like this and it'll be fine. That never works for me. It almost never works for me. I'm trying to think, is there something that I did like that I wear regularly? No, I have to. if it's not a pattern that's already completely drafted out and graded and I just use my size, I have to start from a basic bottom pattern block, test it, the fit, then adapt it to the fit, and then cut it out of the pattern pieces and then cut out the pattern pieces, put it on a fabric and make things like that because otherwise it's not gonna fit me well. I don't know how y'all do it, but it doesn't work for me. And I kind of did it for this top. I wanted a cowl neck top, but I don't know if I like the vibe of this. When I put it on, I'm like, okay, kind of, but it doesn't drape the way I want it to fall. So I wore it out. I did, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to wear it more, but I feel like I need to do a lot of adjusting to make sure it falls the right way. This was a scarf I thrifted, by the way. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll gravitate towards it. I'll have to use it for something else because it's maybe not my vibe. I don't know. I'm gonna take a quick, I'm drinking because like, oh my God, I'm dehydrated. I've been talking for like almost 40 minutes. Okay. The next top, I did make a project vlog about it. So if you guys want to see the process, you can watch that video. But this used to be tablecloth and I turned it into this, I don't know if it's Lyrica Matoshi. Oh, and I have to look up the inspo real quick. It's a Sandy Liang inspired top and I made it in pink. Only thing about this top for me is that I don't know if I'm a pink girly, as in this top specifically, because my first knitted vest was knitted in a pink yarn and I do like that vest. And maybe it's because the design is a little bit more neutral. This is like pink and very girly, and I don't know where I'm wearing. I'm like, oh my God, bows and shirring and the little like garter belt. I'm like, like it's a lot. Maybe if I remove the bows, that feeling is gonna go away. I don't know. Anyways, let's stop talking about my fears. This was pretty easy. The hardest part of designing this thing and recreating this thing was the garter belt, because it needed to, there's no stretch in here, so I needed to make it big enough for me to be able to wear it, to get it over my head basically, and also still fit all of the elastic I put into the bust area of this top. And I succeeded. I didn't sew it. The sewing work isn't like the best because it's not like a straight line, and some parts I created the shirring before I added the garter belt, which makes sense, but I should have put a guideline somewhere so I would be straight all the way around the top, because there are places where you can see that it dips down a little bit. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see this, but it's just not a straight line. And even my boyfriend saw it, and I was like, no. But yeah, I didn't wear it out because I was just like, "Ugh, it's a little bit too girly for me. It doesn't fit my style." So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I really don't, because I know I'm not gonna wear it. Maybe I should keep it for if someone comes into the studio and is like, hey, hey, this looks so cool, I want it. And then it's theirs, but any of my friends see this and they might want to have this, you can have it, because I don't think I'm gonna wear it. I don't think so. I really don't. Okay, and then the second to last is kind of like a 2-for-1. I've been seeing this top on my, I don't think my Instagram, but I see it on my TikTok and my Pinterest, and even on my recommended on YouTube. So this top has been haunting me for years, seriously. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if this pattern has been out for years, but it feels like it's been haunting me for years. And every time I see it, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Moving on. Oh my God, that's so cool. Swiping away, like every time. And now I was like, no, I'm gonna make it. Now that I've got this basic bodice block, I'm gonna make it for myself. And I did. And I liked it so much. It was so nice. I had to do it twice. One in red, this is tablecloth, and one in denim that I've had here for a very long time. I tried to make pants out of it once, without a pattern, without a basic pattern block, and it was what? A mess, of course. But this is nice, and it fits so well. It makes me feel like I'm like the boss of a very cool tech slash magazine slash no, whatever, just a cool brand. And I'm like walking around in my fun but stylish but practical work outfit, and I wear this. Basically, this is inspired by the side tie top. I think it's called the side tie top. I will put it over the screen. And it was really simple to make. Basically, this already the design of a basic pattern block, so that was pretty easy to get the base of the pattern done, and then adding this little lap of fabric in the front with the ties was also pretty easy. It's just I have a really short torso. I'm really short, but my torso is like one of the shortest parts of my body, so this little cover up thing needed to be way smaller than on the inspo, because I think people just have long torsos. I don't know I don't know what's going on, but people have way longer torsos in general than me. So I just had it to adapt it a little bit to a length that I saw fit. And I did. The only annoying thing about making all of these designs with ties is that I had to physically cut and make these ties and iron them, and it was really, really hot. So I had to iron a lot when it was hot, and that was annoying. That was really, really not nice. But my mother-in-law got us little fans, and that was really nice. Like in the middle of me working on this project, I suddenly had a fan, and I was like, you know what? I can iron here. I have a fan. I'm fine. So that was great. And yeah, that's this. I did needed to buy like separable zippers. I don't know what the right name is for those zippers, but zippers that don't lock at the bottom for this. And I went to go buy those zippers, and I forgot to ask for zippers that can open themselves up like this when I went to the fabric shop. So I have a bunch of extra zippers here that I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with. Oh no, I already used one zipper. I already used one zipper, but I have one more unseparable zipper. I don't know if that's the right word. Sorry, English is not my first language. But I had to go again to get the right zippers. But that's okay. I got it figured out. And on this top, the same thing happened, obviously, because I went one time and I bought two zippers that were wrong. But this zipper, I had to decide on the length wasn't the best for this project, but I just wanted to have a zipper that was the same color. So I was like, you know what, I'll settle on a zipper that's a little bit too long, and I'll just add these little extra pockets of fabric at the bottom. Again, if you're standing that close to me, you can see that. Mind your business. You're too close to me. But yeah, so I have it in red and I have it in denim. And it's really, really nice because I've been seeing it for years on my For You page, on my feed, on whatever device I was using. It knew that I would want that. And now I have it in two colors. And that feels really nice and makes me really, really happy. I'm gonna charge this because the camera is like, 8%. Anyways, I just hit 10K on Instagram. And I wanted to celebrate it, but I didn't want to buy those plastic balloons thing to celebrate. So I sewed it myself. So this is like my little 10K. I made it out of scraps, 10K celebration thing, and it was really, really fun. I'm happy I did it. I think I'm going to use them as like pin cushions now. But yeah, that was to celebrate the milestones. And it was also fun to celebrate it with all of the fabrics I've used for different projects I've done during this year to celebrate a milestone. I also hit this year, so that's crazy. That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much. If you came from my Instagram to watch this video, wow, what the hell, crazy. But thank you. And this was also a project. I finished this like in one day. So that was really cool. Also, to make this, I learned a little new technique like the burrito method. I am like, wow, like this is magic. Wow. To be able to sew this on the inside and then sew this on the outside. I did not do a good job of seaming like the edges of everything, but this was just for me. Like, this isn't anything official. I don't, you know, it's fine. And now I know the technique on how you're supposed to do this, but this was not serious. So I'm not really bothered by this, like, botched edge right here. It was just for fun. And those were all my sewing projects. Now my whips, I only have 2 of them, which is crazy. I mean, technically I have 3, but I'm gonna unravel the 3rd. I'll show you guys. Hey, we're between friends, right? Yeah, I'll show you guys. This is whip number 1. This was basically my gift cast on to myself for working on all my unfinished projects. And it's a vest. Now, I already did a Whip Wednesday once where I said, like, I don't think I'm gonna cut it at the side part because I want it to be cut in the middle. Now, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this vest. I want to stick it basically because it seems fun, and I want to use my sewing machine to reinforce the edges where I'm gonna stick. But I don't know if I will stick it in the middle to create an opening for this vest, or I'll stick it on the side to make like something a little bit more fancy, a little bit more special. I don't know. I really don't know. And I also just got a book from the library. Yes. I've got these two books from the library. And I think one of them showed a cool ways to make buttons. And there's like one loop and one really special, like fancy swivel. I don't even think that that's the right way to say it, but like it was a very interesting way to make a button. And now I'm like, hey, if I just do this interesting button thing, I might want to stick it on the side and cut it open on the side. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna find the button here though. This is such a fancy button. See that? And I was like, wait, maybe I want to do that. I don't know. Now I don't know. Because the thing I'm inspired by has like but those were like silver fancy like buttons you can clasp on, but I don't feel like sourcing those. I don't want to do it. So I'm like, okay, I can go to my favorite market that happens every Friday on the Friday market, yes. And I can just get some buttons from there. It's pretty cheap, and she always has a fun collection of stuff. So I can just, hopefully get lucky and get some cool clasps there. If I don't find any cool clasps there, I'll just make buttons because I just have to handy dandy book from the library to make my own. I don't know. I feel like the buttons are going to guide me and tell me if I should stick it in the middle or stick it on the side. I don't know. But it's another vest, and I'm really happy. This is actually the yarn I was going to make the clamshell hood out of, like the second clamshell hood out of. But then I was working on it and I was like, you know what? I don't want to make another hood. I don't feel like it. I want to make another vest because I love vests. So I'm just going to make another one. And I did. It's almost done. Literally just need to seam the shoulder seams together, add ribbing on the armholes, then stick it, which is going to be the most difficult decision because I don't know where I want to stick it. And yeah, just do all the finishings. Basically, almost done with this. Really happy. Yay. Fun project. Working on it, not putting any pressure on myself to work on this. This is like a chilly willy project. Next, oh my god. Next whip is a scrappy project. It's a project I'm making out of yarn I got from a yarn swap that I organized months ago. I can't even tell you when I organized it. I think I posted it on YouTube. If I did, there was going to be a video that pops up in here where I talk about the yarn scrap. If I didn't, yarn swap. If I didn't, there won't be any. But I don't think I did. I'm trying to see. Oh, yes. When I was dyeing my yarn. Yes. In that video, I show the yarn swap video. But so this is a bunch of random yarns, and I split the back and the front already. I think I'm just gonna cast this bottom off and then figure out how I'm gonna do the front. And I think I already did because I put a poll on my Instagram, and I think I'm gonna make a halter top. So this is a halter top. It's 1x1 ribbing, so it's pretty easy. And the only thing I'm afraid of is because I only have one ball of this really light green color, and I'm scared to run out of it because it's in my pattern repeat, and if I'm running out of it, like what the hell am I supposed to do? But it's really fun. I feel that I chose the right colors and that it's very cool to see it like this together, and it's very fluffy. It's really, really warm. That's one thing's for sure. This is extremely, extremely warm. So I guess I don't know where, when, and how I'm gonna wear this, but it's fun, and that's the most important part. The last whip that's gonna get unraveled because I did not listen to the tutorial, and I was like, no, I don't need to use your yarn suggestion or your yarn thickness. I'll do whatever I want. Well, is this. I was working on a little cap. The tutorial said I needed to use thinner yarn, and I was like, no, I'll do whatever I want, but it's too thick. Like, this isn't gonna be a fun little summer cap. It's just gonna be bulky and chunky when I put it on my head, and I don't want it to be this chunky. So I'm gonna unravel this. It looks cute. It looks like a little flower. Like, oh, maybe I can wear a little flower. But no, I'm gonna unravel this. It was fun to work on outside while I was chilling, but I need thinner yarn for this project. This is Reco yarn Bazeman, by the way, but I'm gonna unravel it to make something else out of it. And future project number 1 is another scrunchie bag. I'm gonna make it out of these yarns. I'm obsessed. I'm so ready to already cast it on. I really, 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 really want to work on it. But yeah, I'm just gonna make another one. Project number 1. And project number 2, which I'm not 100% sure. It's more like a general idea I have. I haven't zeroed in on one specific project, but I'll show you a bunch of projects that inspire the general idea I have. I want to make basically I want to bust a bunch of Julia yarn because I have a bunch of it and I just want to reduce that pile, but I want to make a cool sweater with the pile. I want to reduce that amount of yarn I have with. And I'm looking for basically some intarsia or stranded colorwork type of sweater. I think it's going to be intarsia because stranded colorwork is going to be too warm and too heavy. So scratch stranded colorwork, intarsia project that is pretty cool and inspired by like a little bit more of a vintage-y vibe sweater. I want at least 6 colors in it. The colors kind of need to work together, and even if they don't work together in a sweater, it needs to be in the same family. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be too crazy. And I kind of wanted to have maybe some letters or fun vibes. You know, I could design it myself, but I don't know if I have like the energy to. I have the energy to see like a cool sweater and then recreate it for myself, but I don't think I can be like, let me design something from scratch. Like, nah. I found a few cool sweaters. I saw this extremely cool. This does seem more like it's duplicate stitch, which I don't want to do duplicate stitch. Like, I'll just do intarsia. It's like a bunch of letters and numbers and different colors, and it really looks like a really good stash bust project. So this looks really, really cool. What else have I seen that looks like a cool stash bust project? Oh, this skirt. Because I just saved a long skirt on Drops Design, at the Drops Design website, and I kind of feel like I can use it as a base to put in all the bunch of different colors, because I've seen this is crochet, but I want to knit like a really funky maxi skirt, but Nothing is holding me back. I'm the person holding me back to do that. So that's also a really cool idea, I think. Then raglan t-shirt, but that's a bit basic for me personally. I think it's a little bit basic. I don't want to do that. Then this as well, but also is a little bit basic. It's also very big. Like the stitches are really, really big, but I just like the contrast of adding a garter stitch edge to your color switch. That's just fun. So that's maybe also something fun to incorporate and to make when I'm making my sweater. But this doesn't really count as inspo, but just in general, I want to make this sweater so bad. Just like a classic cable knit sweater, but just add that like bright color in the middle. I mean, it is in Tarja, but it's so cool. I really, really want to make that. Like that's happening. If it's not happening this year, it's next year, and if it's not in the year after, like it's definitely happening. But yeah, I think that's it. Basically, color inspo wise, I haven't really seen a lot of cool things. I'm still kind of roaming. So if you guys have like any pictures of like sweaters you've seen that you think like that kind of fits what you're describing, if it makes sense, because I feel like I was very vague in my description. Sorry for that. But yeah, that's everything I made the last 3 months, which is kind of a lot. Anyways, if you stayed till now, thank you so much for watching me ramble. Thank you for staying here after I literally kind of ghosted, not really ghosted because I was posting shorts, but kind of disappeared from like posting regular long. This is a long video. I've never talked this long ever in my life. This is a long video, but for staying till now, tell me, what project have you unraveled recently? Where you were just like, you know what, this is not for me. I can't work on it anymore. I have to let it go. I really want to know. And my device is overheating, so I'm saying goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!